You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Don't adjust your YouTube, your Spotify, your iTunes, wherever you listen to Go Time Dolphins. I want to say we're back, but we're here. Literally, right before I clicked record, Mr. Charlie Touche asked me, "Do you think we can get through an episode without my phone ringing?" I was like, "Nope." But as you know from Go Time Dolphins, we don't edit; we just keep on going. So if I go on a long monologue, it's probably because Charlie is either on the phone or I'm ranting about something. But yeah, it's great to be back here chatting Miami Dolphins football. We honestly didn't take a break. I think the best way to describe why there's been no Go Time Dolphins content in well over a week is that there's honestly not enough hours a day. Point where I can message Charlie. No, obviously there's a 5 hour time difference between us right now.
6.
Maybe even 6. But whatever the time difference is, I can message Charlie, say 7 p.m. Friday evening. I won't get a response until my time, probably 5:30 a.m. the next morning. Simply because we're just both busy and stuff like that. So we haven't talked Miami Dolphins football outside of what we're going to record, in our next episode. So Mr. Charlie Touche, apart from tired and stressed, how have you been?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. I got my co-host Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. I'm getting bags under my eyes. I don't like it. Like, for real, I don't like it. And I can't remember everything that I mentioned in the last episode. But did I tell you I forgot to eat? Did I tell you that?
I think that might have been over a voice note.
Bro.
Yeah, it was something like you had food in your mini fridge and you was like, I haven't even ordered anything. Where's the food come? It's like,
Yeah,
I haven't eaten.
Yeah. So, and then just like you said it, bro, there's not enough hours in a day. And I was just had this motivational speech lined up for some like middle school, high school kids. Like, there's not enough time in a day. And all you guys have to do is be students first and athletes second. Y'all don't have to adult yet. You know what I'm saying? So use all that time while you got it. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I haven't been privy to the any Dolphin updates. But I did catch I caught something about Tyreek Hill talking some more, and then everybody like, man, Tyreek Hill need to be quiet. Like he's talking too much.
Oh, I think there was a quote going around in which someone quoted Tyreek Hill saying, "This is Tua's last chance in the NFL." And I think everyone was like, he never actually said that. And I think the full quote was something like, the way the NFL works, you only have, especially a quarterback, you only have a few, years to prove it. And if not, you're out. So, by that logic, then yeah, this is basically Tua's last chance. But he's going to show everyone that, how good he is. I think that was basically the quote. But obviously people condensed it and made it seem like he was saying, Tua's only got one more chance in the NFL.
See, that's for people like me who just didn't hear what happened. I just glanced over like, did he really say this? I didn't even have a chance to dive into it. No Twitter life for me. I don't even know what social media is anymore nowadays. Whew, but actually, it might slow down a little bit, and I think we're gonna start to record a little more regular coming up. So, aside from being tired and working 90 hours a week, I think we'll be back. Go Time Dolphins about to be back in the building.
Yeah, hopefully. And I'm I'm not the most spiritual person. I know you are. But I do feel like at, over the past, I want to say 24 months. I think 3 months we've been doing it for 3 years. 24 months kind of sounds about right. But whenever we say, "Do you know what, we're gonna do something, and we're gonna take off," the world has a way of just shutting things down. First of all, there was COVID, and when I say people don't understand what we had planned for that Miami Dolphins London game before COVID hit,
Hmm.
we've had what 4, 5 friends of the podcast. The whole Dolphins team would be friends of the podcast. And I'm not just trying to like overhype it. That's the content you would have got. Obviously, COVID, and then COVID kind of doesn't go away, but we're both in London, and then COVID gets you, and then the whole sickness and all that kind of stuff. So this year, like, you know what, we've got this. People were both offered wonderful opportunities which we couldn't pass up. That's kind of slowing things down. We then get a new addition to the Go Time Dolphins team, in a guy called George. You'll notice our graphics are going to improve. If you haven't already, go follow our new graphics guy. He's at Created by George on Twitter. Apologies, I don't know what he's on Instagram, but go follow him, show him some love. He's not an NFL fan, he's not a Dolphins fan, but he will be very soon. So let's show him lots of love. But we get that under our belt, which haven't been able to record. So I'm glad we can finally get back to this. And it seems, if anything, it's now the right time with over the next few days, training camp starting, and then before you know it, pre-season, NFL season, and all that kind of lovely stuff.
Bro, the other day I was working, and I had a laptop, and then I had another laptop next to me. It was almost like a cockpit, like for a helicopter. And then I was talking on the phone, and I had my right hand typing on the laptop and my left hand texting in the second phone. I felt like I needed to be an octopus. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed more hands and more mouths to talk and do stuff at. People calling in. I'm like, man, there's only one me. So I think it's going to slow down here in a little bit. And I always like to say, give an analogy like, oh, the plane hasn't taken off yet. We're on the runway. We're taxiing the runway. And once we take off, it's a wrap. We finally took off, but we just ain't at cruising altitude yet. You know what I'm saying? So we taking off now, but we're not at cruising altitude yet. And I'm ready for what's coming our way. But what's in the Dolphin news right now, Kadeem? Franchise tag all around the league is being talked about, and we have someone on our team that we really like, in Mike Gesicki, and we feel like he should get a contract. Is he going to get that contract? Probably not.
Yeah, it's one of those things where with Mike Gesicki, I don't know where to start because he's not a bad player at all, like not at all, and he's been unfortunate to be part of a Dolphins offense over the past 3 years, let's say, the last 3 years where he's been underutilized. And it's weird because you say underutilized. Pretty sure his targets, catches, and yards have gone up every single year.
Every single year.
And yet you sit back and go, we could have got so much more out of him. And I think, if anything, that goes to show just how good he is. And again, like, I want to preface this by saying, if your targets are going up more and your yards are going up more, then surely you're being used more. But it feels like he's not, because for so many games or parts of games, he's just not being targeted. And that's why we kind of mean where he's been underutilized. It's not like he's getting these targets, catches, and yards and being featured heavily. He's barely being featured. When he is being featured, being productive. And you would like to think that that would have said, or the Dolphins would have said, you know what, we're going to reward that. But that just hasn't happened as of yet. Yeah, he's signed his franchise tag. I think he even said, I'll play on this tag. It's not an issue. The issue then becomes, and it's an issue for later down the line, do you extend him long term? And unfortunately, I can't see it happening. What do you make of the whole Mike Gesicki situation in Miami?
1 second. I think Mike Gesicki wants to be a Dolphin for life. I think the Dolphins would like for him to be a Dolphin for life. But I think the Dolphins, like, front office doesn't see it. They don't have the same vision for Gesicki as they did two seasons ago because of the pieces you brought in, like the Tyreek Hills of the world, the offensive scheme that you're about to run. You gotta wonder how much usage you're gonna get out of this tight end who Kadeem just said, like, you telling me how many times, Kadeem, last year did it seem like Mike Gesicki didn't get enough targets? Not only did he not get enough targets, he didn't get enough receptions. Not only did he not get enough receptions, we only kind of used them on 3rd down or 4th down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, why are you going to Mike Gesicki when it's 3rd and 20 and 3rd and 15 and 4th and 28? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we use the person with the best hands on the team in the most crucial situations, and not just like, but only in the most crucial situations? Why can't we use them when it's not do or die? And I don't think we use him enough on earlier downs. He's like a get out of jail free card. So you wonder what this offense can do with Mike Gesicki. Ask not what you could do for the offense. Ask the offense what can they do for Mike Gesicki right now, because we know what Mike Gesicki is. We know if Mike Gesicki went somewhere else, he would be that top 3 tight end, because I already have him as a top 4 tight end in the league anyway. So it would hurt my heart if the Dolphins don't give this man the bag. It really would. It would hurt my heart, because what else you got to do? What else you have to do? You got the best hands on the team. You're a Miami Dolphin through and through, and you still don't get the check. Oh, we switched up the offense. No, that's not good enough, man. Like, you gotta give. It's all about perception is reality. What are the other guys in the locker room going to think if Mike Gesicki doesn't get paid or extended? So, yeah, he's playing on the franchise tag, but you got to take care of the people in the building.
Yeah, and it's it's an odd thing where it's like, okay, so the Dolphins now have a head coach who has a history of getting amazing, productivity out of tight ends. You have a tight end who, can be anywhere between a top 3 and 10 tight end, depending on how you view the other tight ends in the league and stuff like that.
You said 10, 3 and 10.
I'm not saying, yeah. Some people will have him 7, 8. Others will have him, 3, 4, 5. That's what I said.
Nah, bro. Didn't say it's top 7, and that's you tripping. Like, he's a top 5 tight end, bro.
Yeah,
for the people who say Hockenson is a top 5 tight end, get out of here. Hockenson is not better than Mike Gesicki, bro.
The way, again, I just said for the people who view tight ends and stuff like that. Man, because so you have Gesicki, you said top 4 tight end, yeah?
He's 4th in the league. That's it. There's nobody. All right.
Who are your
at the most? He's 5th.
Okay. So who are the 4? I'm not trying to get into the debate.
That's cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. Not in order. You got Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, Waller. Those are the only 4 in front of Mike Gesicki. And depending on the year, Kittle had a down year. He was injured. Okay. I think Waller, I think you just know what Waller can do, but then he disappeared for a little bit, but I still put Waller in front of Gesicki. You know what I'm saying? So, he's a top 5 tight end for sure. I got him in the top 5. Now that I said those tight ends, but there's I'm not going for any other. What's your boy? The dude who got drafted that everybody wanted to come to the Dolphins?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. He's not better than Mike Gesicki right now, bro.
So the reason I said anywhere between 3 and 10 is because there will be people who will make a legitimate argument for themselves that someone that a Kyle Pitts is better than Mike Gesicki. Right now, I don't believe in that, but there will be people out there who will say something like that. So that's why I said for the people who, someone will chuck like a Hunter Henry in there. It's like, don't see that either. But there'll be people who will chuck in a few other tight ends. Anyone who has him outside of 10 to me is smoking some different green, and fair play to them. That's literally all that's the point I was trying to make. But as I was saying, so you've got a head coach who has amazing productivity with tight ends. You have an offense who can now boast the names of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You should be ascending. What? You should be ascending, as a team. And to me, you get rid of Mike Gesicki in this, what we think is going to be a high octane top 10, offense in the league. Why would you get rid of that? So that's why it's like, now's the time you should be keeping him. It's not like we drafted Mike Gesicki and now we're bringing in a new head coach and we are blowing it up. And it's like, you know what? We're going to be bad for the next 3 years. You being here kind of makes no sense. And if anything, we're going to trade you because we can get a high value pick. That's not the case no more. It makes zero sense to get rid of him. But at the same time, like you said, the people we brought in and the money we've now allocated to other players means that unfortunately someone like Mike Gesicki might miss out. You on mute?
I got this, bro. Can I do this, bro?
It's been a while. I'm making sure.
I mean, like, can you let me live, bro? This guy. Listen, is it Mark Andrews? That's his name?
From Baltimore, yeah.
Mike Gesicki's top 4. Andrews is 5th. Andrews gets the accolades and the targets and the touchdowns and all of that because his quarterback can't do anything else but throw intermediate routes. That's why Andrews looks better than Mike Gesicki on paper. Like, oh, look at his stats. He's better than Gesicki. His stats are better than Gesicki. But if Gesicki was that intermediate route tied in for Baltimore because Jackson can't go to outside the numbers, then yeah, Gesicki's numbers will look like that too. So I officially have Mike Gesicki as a top 4 tight end. Y'all at me. At Charlie Touche _, at Charlie _Touche on Twitter if y'all want to smoke. But Gesicki is better than Andrews.
Right. So I just saw something which I have to share with you. So no, you say you say this guy, but when I show it to you, you'll be like, okay, that makes no sense. So you can tell I haven't done this in a while. Bear me 2 secs. So
I'm saying, Kadeem, there's an audio version, so people wouldn't know what you were doing. So you could have just talked it through. You could tell you haven't done it in a while because you forgot how to like prolong and procrastinate and drag out the stuff.
Yeah, I know, but also for our video listeners, it's actually a bit of fun. So this is dated. I don't even know. No, so this is PFF's top tight ends heading into the 2022 NFL season, which makes no sense because someone on this list is no longer in the league, but is what it is. So we've got. You can see that, okay, or should I enlarge it?
Yeah, that's cool.
So as you can see, Kelsey 1, Kittle 2. I think we no, that's okay, is what it is.
Yeah, I honestly, you could put. I'm cool with any order that someone wanted to put. Kelsey, Kittle, and Waller. I'm cool with any order that they wanted to go with.
Yeah, and as I said, PFS ranking of the top 15 tight ends entering the or maybe it's not. No, sorry, I'm right. It's May 31st, 2022. So Kelsey, Kittle, 3 and 4, Waller and Andrews, which you kind of had, but then you said, you know what, actually, Mike Gesicki is over Mark Andrews, correct?
On my list, Mike Gesicki is 4th right here. Andrews is 5th. But let's see what PFF says who is 5th. Kyle Pitts. Dallas Goedert, number 6. Let's keep going, Kadeem.
So this says tier 2, tier 1 capabilities, but either lack consistency or have slipped. So for those not watching on YouTube, we have Gronk at 7 and Dalton Schultz of the Cowboys at 8. Gronk has since retired, so doesn't really count no more, but that's where they had him on May 31st, 2022. As you can see on YouTube, we now have tier 3, the best of the rest, and we still haven't got to Mike Gesicki. So 9, I'm showing you 9, 10, and 11. At 9, TJ Hawkinson of the Lions. At 10, Hunter Henry of the Patriots. At 11, I think it's Freiermuth of the Steelers.
Freiermuth.
We've gone through 11 tight ends, and there's still no Mike Gesicki. Number 12, Dawson Knox.
I like Dawson Knox, but he's not better than Mike Gesicki.
Number 13, Mike Gesicki. So PFF says, and again, this isn't me, this isn't Charlie, this is PFF. It almost seems improper to slot Gesicki in with the tight ends, considering over 85% of his receiving snaps have either come from the slot or on the outside. But his franchise tag salary and position listing indicate he's a tight end. So alas, here we are. The 6'6", 245-pound pass catcher is one of the top big slot receivers in the league. Gesicki ranks 7th among tight ends in slot receiving grades in 2020. He's been highly effective against single coverage thanks to his massive frame. Over the past 2 years, Gesicki has racked up the 3rd most receiving yards against single coverage among tight ends and leads the pack in contested catches on such plays.
Read that last part one more time.
Over the past 2 years, Gesicki has racked up the 3rd most receiving yards against single coverage among tight ends and leads the pack in contested catches on such plays.
Come on, bro.
The best day of the year.
Oh.
Draft day.
Oh. Oh. Hey, yeah, y'all get to hear what's going on over here. Listen, this kind of, I don't want to say I'm upset, but this kind of made me, I'm a bit perturbed right now, Kadeem, because we had access to this last year. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't maximize Mike Gesicki ever in the past 3 years, 4 years. He has not been maximized as a Miami Dolphin. Bro, we could have just used Mike Gesicki and Jalen Waddle the entire time, and we could have did something. But for whatever reason, Mike Gesicki does not get looked at until we're in trouble, bro. Why is that, bro?
I don't know. It really makes no sense as I take this down. Yeah, it really makes no sense because the only thing I can think of is to go back to what Tua said and was kind of being, indicated by different players in, different players by the media, is that last year's offense was basically one read, and if it's not there, then get rid of it. That was basically, the play. So if Gesicki wasn't the read, it's not like the offensive line is giving you enough time to. I want to use my words very carefully. The offensive line isn't giving you enough time to do multiple things. That's not to say that players, i.e. Tua and Jacoby Brissett, weren't going through their reads, but if you're scanning from left to right or right to left, given the offensive line, you don't really have time to go back across because Tua's getting the ball out, one of the quickest releases in the NFL. So, it's one of those things where, for whatever reason, Gesicki wasn't an option until it was, oh, snap, it's 3rd or 4th down, we need a first down. Just give it to Mike Gesicki. Doesn't matter what he's doing, basically. And that should not be the way the offense was run. Like you said, last year, it should have been a matter of Mike Gesicki and Jalen Waddle, and everyone else. If you're open, then fair enough. If not, then I know my 2 targets.
Bro, do you believe Hunter Long was drafted to be Mike Gesicki's replacement, or do you believe they seen something in Hunter Long and said, we're going to double down on tight end because we like Gesicki to extend them, but we're still going to draft a tight end early?
I want to say, given Adam Shaheen's injury history, that it would have been a case of Hunter Long being a Adam Shaheen replacement as opposed to a Mike Gesicki replacement, if that makes sense.
In the 3rd round.
Yeah. Because again, it's like, this is before we've even like Tyreek Hill to
right. This is all Flores regime.
Yeah. So in terms of where you're spending your money in the off season, you're going to bring in some pieces, but you probably aren't going to spend it on premier offensive talent, because we saw that's not where the money went under Flores. So I assume it's going to get given to Mike Gesicki, and Hunter Long is just a tight end 2 or 3 behind Gesicki and Durham Smythe.
If you draft him in the 3rd round, I'm thinking he's going to be a tight end too, if that's the case. Which I don't mind it. I don't mind Hunter Long coming in and snapping this year. Like, hey, we got Hunter Long and Mike Gesicki still. So what I do mind is the idea that Mike Gesicki should be moved on. Like, we should move on from him next year. I don't like that. So new question would be, how do you think we use him this year? Knowing that it's going to be a lot of run first offense, knowing that Gesicki isn't the blocker that Kittle was, knowing that McDaniel came from the system, and we also have the tight ends coach from that system that is just who's tight ends coach is what now to us? Assistant head coach, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, like so to know that we took a lot of influence from that San Fran team to put it on to this Miami Dolphins team, what do you think Gesicki does this year? Knowing that he's not the same player Kittle is. Different player, both dope.
I think they've already alluded to Mike Gesicki improving his run block ability. Again, so not saying he's going to be there every single down run blocking, but I think you might see him play a few more snaps run blocking to later set up the play action where he goes out on a route. Because again, at the moment, if Mike Gesicki is on the field 99% of the time, yeah, and you don't want to be that predictable. Mm-hmm. So all you've got to do is be half decent, in the run game blocking to fool people into thinking we're running it. Play action, Mike Gesicki's open. If you're not doing that, I still think even with Hill, Cedric Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Gesicki's still going to get targets for 2 reasons. One, it's just the way his career in the NFL has been. He always gets more targets year upon year. And 2, he's just that good. Like, this isn't an offense which isn't going to cater to its best players. We're fortunate to have, I'm going to say, at least 3 pass-catching weapons who you could consider elite or just below elite in Hill, Waddle, and Gesicki. And I don't think anyone can say that's not true. So if you've got 3 players of that ability, you use them. There's multiple, even in the worst case scenario, as we're driving down the field, there's multiple downs, multiple plays, multiple chances to feed your best players, even in a run-first offense. Other teams can do it. Now it's time for the Dolphins to do it. And I think that, with Mike McDaniel as head coach, that's what we're going to see. So yeah, I still think he'll get used better than he has been over the past 3 years at least. I have no doubt saying that.
I think with Mike McDaniel, I think he's going to scheme some stuff up. I think he sat in his dungeon of a man cave and just schemed up some stuff and said, this is like being a kid in the candy store with the nerd glasses on. Shout out to the glasses. Geek Squad. And I think he's like, yo, I can run the ball. The run is always there with Mike McDaniel. I can pass the ball now because I got Tua and Hill and Waddle and Wilson. And I still have this piece in Mike Gesicki. He's going to figure it out. Not only is he going to figure out, this is what I think should happen. You cannot plan as a defense enough for the Miami Dolphins. You shouldn't be able to plan for the Miami Dolphins if you're on the opposing defense. That defensive coaching staff, we should give them fits at night now, because they should be like, man, they're gonna run. How do we cover Hill? How do we make sure Waddle doesn't get 15 targets? Like every game there's a mismatch with Gesicki. So now I think McDaniel should go into every single game and say, you know what? This is what we're going to exploit from this defense. Whether it's the run and we run the ball 40 times, or whether it's the pass and then we have Waddle and Hill get off, or whether it's the linebackers and say, Gesicki's about to have a career day. That's what it should be going into the games, because there's no defense that can take that can cover all of it. So as an offense, you have to say, all right, we're going to Gesicki you to death today, or we're going to run you to death today, or we're going to Hill and Waddle you to death today. And that's what I got, man. But come on over to bonus time with us.
Before we go there, quick game. Over under on Mike Gesicki's, stats from last year. Just, because I've got them up in front of me, so why not? So 73 receptions last year, over under this year.
Under.
Okay.
What you got?
Yards. 780 last year, over under.
Under.
Wow. Touchdowns, 2.
Over.
So you think his production is actually going to go down? But
yes, but more touchdowns.
Okay. And
what you got?
I think over all 3. But again, I say that because last year the Dolphins weren't good offensively, and we sat there going, let's use Mike Gesicki more. And I think this year it's a matter of the Dolphins will get better and they will use him more. Because again, like you said, it's one of those things where there'll be certain games and Mike Gesicki is just going to go off because teams are so focused on Waddle and Hill. It's going to be Gesicki. And if he had 70, it's funny. I'm looking at his stats. As a rookie, 22 receptions, 2019, 51, 2020, 53, and then 73 last year. I just want to see what George Kittle had last year. And again, it's a different team, different weapons. That's interesting. How many receptions do you think George Kittle had last year? Roughly
60.
Higher, 71. 71 receptions, 910 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Bro,
okay, yeah.
So hold on, you didn't answer the question, bro.
What's the question?
The same question you asked me, the over under.
I said over.
Oh, over all 3. My bad.
No, it's fine. To be fair, I said over. I was definitely thinking over. Whether I said it or not is another thing. And
no, you did say it. I give you that. You did say it. So here's my thing though. You can't sit here and tell me that Gesicki is not capable of 90 catches and 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's what he should be getting. So if I'm McDaniel, I'm playing chess right now. Every team is gonna come in thinking run, Tyreek Hill, Waddle. Every single team. So every single game, I'm coming in like, oh, Gesicki's gonna get off again. Until the team start saying, oh, we got to worry about Gesicki. And then now you go over the top. Then now you run the ball 40 times. You got to switch it up, bro. You got to switch it up. But we're going to bonus time. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make 'em lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make 'em lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make 'em lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time.
2 questions for bonus time. The first, do you think Will Fuller plays another snap in the NFL? Because
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
okay, then cool, fair enough. He hasn't been picked up by a team yet, but that finger injury, which we didn't think was that serious, seems it's pretty serious. And for whatever reason, he hasn't been picked up by a team right now. So
He hasn't been picked up because he's injury prone and he's not dependable. But Will Fuller is too much of a talent to not have a chance. It's not like he has off the field issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude is a talent.
and this could be a really short answer, but obviously Richie Incognito has retired from the NFL. Former Miami Dolphins offensive lineman. Do you have any positive memories on Richie Incognito as a Dolphin? Any at all?
Positive memories. I can't say I have positive memories, but I will say I thought he was underrated as a football player. You know what I'm saying? I think he was a pretty good O lineman. Now all that extra stuff, that's you hope you didn't see it, but he was actually a pretty good O lineman. But hey, Will Fuller plays again?
Yeah, I think he's one of the players that will get picked up midway through the season when a player decimated by injuries needs someone and he's just available.
I think he should be. I don't know if he's still hurt, but if he's not hurt, he should be picked up right now. He's that good.
Okay, then so we'll end on this. If he's not hurt and he's healthy, would you take him back in Miami on a
we don't need him. We got too much. We got so that's the thing. Like, no, all right. All right. We always liken this to like relationships. And I try to tell people all the time, just because we're not made for each other, you know what I'm saying, doesn't mean we have to have a bad breakup. We don't have to go out screaming and yelling at each other and cut each other off. We could just be like, hey, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And just move on and be happy for this chick. Like, hey, I'm glad. You know, it didn't work out with us. It's cool. But a lot of women just try to, oh, we're not going to work out? Well, I'm going to blow it up on the way out. Like, yo, chill. So just because Will Fuller didn't work out with the Dolphins, one, doesn't mean he's supposed to come back to us. Like, no. It's not going to work out here with you, Will Fuller. But go ahead. Do your thing somewhere else.